everyone, and welcome to another episode of RV Healthy. I'm Courtney Wall, and of course, joined by Sylvia Tarnuzzer. Sylvia, I'm a little nervous when I read what this title was. It's called Guess the Fat, and we're not saying guess what the percentage on my body or your body. That's kind of initially what I thought. We're going to guess the fat in food, which is equally as scary.
It is.
What are we going to be hitting on?
Okay, so what we're going to do today is a lot of people see fat in grams, but they can't really figure out what does a gram look like in the foods that I'm eating. So we're going to take some common food, and what we're looking at is about 5 grams equals a teaspoon, and we're going to show you on a paper plate that right now has nothing on it exactly what that fat looks like in the form of Crisco on the plate with the foods that you would eat on common foods.
Okay, so what is the ratio again? A gram of fat is how many?
We're going to do 5 grams of fat equals 1 teaspoon.
That's okay. I thought that was right in my head and I had it backwards.
45 calories or 5 grams of fat equals 1 teaspoon.
Okay, so we have a list of items. I guess we can start in the morning with a donut. This is something that people bring to the office. It's tempting. Maybe you don't do it all the time, but this might change your mind. If I'm going to go grab that,
it might change your mind. Yeah. So, you know, when we get that donut in the morning, a lot of us don't think about the fat grams that are in that donut. We just know that donut tastes really, really good, and we want a bite of that donut. But I think that if we had the donut next to the plate that showed how much fat was in that donut, this is actually 3 teaspoons in that one regular sized donut.
Oh my goodness. So we're talking 15 grams of fat is what that means.
Pretty much 15 grams of fat. You got it. You got it.
Well, that puts things in perspective. Now that I'm thoroughly depressed, let's go on to the next one. Okay, let's say we're going to have a hamburger, a fast food hamburger. I go to lunch. I forgot to pack my own. And you know what? You got a $1 menu, and I'm just going to pick up a hamburger really quick. Tell me about my decision.
Well, the decision on that hamburger is probably one of the scariest decisions on the hamburger, and not with just you, but there's a lot of people that are saying, you know, I'm going to run through the drive-through fast food restaurant for my child because, you know, it's they're on their way to a ball game, and I really want to just feed them something very, very quickly. What they're not realizing is the damage that they're doing to that poor child's little heart and the poor child's little arteries, which, yes, children's arteries can clog. I can't count. Hold on. One more.
That's bad if you've lost count.
Children's arteries have started recognizing that children as young as 8 years old, 8, can you imagine, are showing signs of clogged arteries.
Oh my
And
word.
I have to wonder why. Can you see the amount of fat on a regular size hamburger? 8 teaspoons.
My word. Oh my word. Which, do the math, 40 grams of fat.
Yep.
Okay.
Shall we add some fries to go with it?
Don't know. But yes, we're going to because that's what we do.
I think we need to.
I think so. They are pretty delicious, aren't they?
They are. Now we can take some of these away, but I would rather show you because the fries are actually, and I will tell you here in a moment, the fries are actually one thing that a lot of children, you know, it's amazing how my grandchildren now don't order the fries, they order the fruit.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of them for that. And I'm thrilled that, you know, mom and dad help with them to get them in a healthier format, even though they still might eat that hamburger, they're having the fruit on the side, because if they chose the fat of the hamburger along with the fat of the fries, we have now increased that to 12. And this is Crisco, you guys. This is true fat when you're looking at the fat grams in these foods and you see it in this capacity. It really makes you aware that this is going on inside your body. This is what you're putting in your body. And making that small choice of having the fruit cup for the children even if they're going to still have the hamburger. And obviously there's better choices than the hamburger, but you do cut out some of that fat.
Oh my word. Okay, so we aren't even through half of our examples, and I'm about ready to
Is
just
this appetizing?
Oh, it's I love Crisco. It's so delicious. All right, so now we've had our hamburger, our fries, and I'm getting a little hungry in the middle of the workday, and I've got a vending machine. I'm gonna go grab a bag of chips and maybe a candy bar too.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and we're just going to have possibly a Snickers bar. And so we're going to take away, we didn't have our hamburger, we had a real healthy salad for lunch, and we didn't have our fries, and we didn't have our donut. So we're okay today with having just our Snickers bar. So now you're down to just 3 teaspoons, and you'll have to give up this fat here. I need another black paper plate. So it's 3 teaspoons of fat in that Snickers bar.
Okay. That'll make me, now they
add it back with the hamburger and the French fries and the donut in the morning.
Oh, let's not. Let's save the plate. I think it might break at that point. So, yikes. Okay, so, and they have the slogan that's like, hungry, why wait? And that will give you a reason to wait, or never go to that if you're hungry, I guess. What are the potato chips? Because I would tend to, we've talked about our vices and things that we need our red, stay away from foods. Mine are salty. I love chips. I love popcorn, which popcorn's probably a little bit better, but the chips, I could sit and consume an entire bag if you got me on the right day. What are we looking at for a bag of chips?
All right, so the bag of chips, now you're talking about just a snack size bag of chips.
Right. Well, I can eat a whole bag, but...
yeah, the snack size bag of chips, then you're down to just the 2 teaspoons. And please forgive that plate. I didn't realize that the black plate's going to still show all that. But it's down to 2 teaspoons. So what you really want to focus on is, you know, maybe you still want that hamburger. You decide the fries I'm not going to do, but I'm going to bring in a bag of potato chips because I just don't feel like a fruit cup. Well, you've still cut a lot of your fat down. So it's making those choices that are better for you to bring down some of that fat count.
Gotcha. Now, I have to admit, this happened in my household this week. I had to make chocolate chip cookies for an event I had. And, of course, you have to taste test them. So what am I looking at for, let's say, 2 of them that I taste tested?
Okay, so 2 of those cookies along with, or 1 very large cookie is about 2 teaspoons of fat. So basically, I definitely need more black paper plates, but 2 teaspoons of fat, just like your bag of potato chips.
All right. Well, all of them added together, like we said, are going to break that plate, aren't they?
All of them added together, and this is where it really gets scary, because when you add, let's say you had in the morning that donut. So we've got 3 teaspoons there. It's very common for somebody to have a donut in the morning on their way to work with a cup of coffee. And then they go out for their hamburger and their fries. So we've got 3 teaspoons plus your 13. That equals what? 15 teaspoons, right?
Yep.
And then the afternoon comes around and they run to the vending machine, grab a diet soda and a Snickers bar, because, you know, the diet soda is supposed to counteract the Snickers bar, right? That's what we've always been told. Don't believe it.
Oh, no way.
Please don't believe it. So we've got the Snickers bar of 3 teaspoons plus the 15. So we're up to 18 teaspoons. And that's not saying that, you know, somebody might have brought a cookie around and we added another 2 teaspoons on top of that, or a bag of chips somewhere in the day. So just remember, and you can do this at home with your children too, just look at the amount of fat on a day-to-day basis that is not anything out of the ordinary. These are things people are eating on a regular basis. And this is what's scary. When you see what's clogging these arteries, why heart disease is prevalent in our society now, this is why. So we want to make sure that we're cutting down, if not out, as much of this fat as we possibly can, because it really is eye-opening. So I really would recommend that you do this at home and try it yourself. and do it in front of your children or grandchildren to kind of help them understand why it's so important to eat more fruits and vegetables and less of these trans fatty foods that we're eating.
Or spouse or significant other.
Or spouse or significant other.
I won't
That's
say
right.
boyfriend or husband. Hint, hint. They can be a little, I like to call my boyfriend, love him dearly, but skinny fat. He can eat whatever he wants, but that's what's going in, are those teaspoons of Crisco. And you can't tell on his body. Doesn't look like a person that eats like that, but that's what happens. That is such an incredible visual. And I think, like you said, if you share that with your kids, your family members, the people you love, and say, look, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Right. And that is incredible. Thank you for showing that to us today. So hopefully you'll take a different look at things. And I think that throughout this entire series of RV Healthy, I think you've changed all of us. You've been that little person on our shoulder saying, don't do it. And then you've got, our own saying, yes, do it. But I like that. You've made me second guess a couple things that I've been making or whatever it may be. So, okay, we've guessed the fat. The results haven't been good. So I bet if we did, the fruit, the turkey, all kinds of other things, that would be way less. So explore your healthier options. And we've got all of this in the show notes if you want to look back and remind yourself how many teaspoons of fat are in a hamburger. It's up there at rvnn.tv. Go to the shows tab. RV Healthy will be under there, and you can click on that for all the archive episodes and the notes that go along with them. Like I said, if you're watching on the Roku or Boxee, they won't be there. You need to go to the website. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Instagram, all those places. So be social with us, and we'd love to be social with you. And Sylvia, thank you so much for preparing yet another great episode. The holidays are here. We're in full swing. So I wouldn't even want to do the teaspoon thing for your Christmas plate. Could you imagine? Ooh, ooh. Well, if we're eating healthy, it'll be good. So, anyways, Sylvia, thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time.
Hey, Gabe, want to go for a walk? Gabe? Gabe? Gabe?
Hey, buddy, you lost? Hold on.
If your pet is the adventuresome type, be sure he's connected to PetHub. A quick scan using any smartphone shares your pet's vital information so that even his wildest escapades have a happy ending. PetHub, reuniting pets with their families.
Come on, Gabe, let's go home.